Okay, I only have one.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode. I'm Andrea.
And I'm Morgan, and this is Opinionated Moms.
So we have lots to talk about. So let's get on with headlines. And I'll
Okay,
read the one.
first things first. Portia, what is her last name? Williams?
Williams, I think. Yeah,
Yep.
Coach Williams.
Portia Williams was somewhere, and she said that she is currently dating two people, a man and a woman. So she has opened herself up to new experiences. She also talked about how it's hard for her to date, and she's working through that with her therapist because she's used to being with narcissists who love bomb you. And, narcissists are all about you in the beginning. So it makes it really easy to open up to somebody and like feel comfortable. But the people that she's with now are normal.
Mhm.
Was the word she used. So, they're challenging her, and, not everything is rainbows and butterflies. You're having a natural interaction with that person. So she was just saying it's, harder to open up. But obviously, the big bomb there was that she's dating a female. So I want to know how
Yeah.
that goes.
But like these are two separate people, right? Like they're not like all three dating in a dating each other
Correct.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Well, good for her. I mean, I hope she finds what she's looking for.
I don't think it's a woman. I honestly feel like this is a phase,
Mm,
and she's just
mm,
kind of like experimenting.
mm-hmm.
I don't see her settling down with a woman.
Yeah, I never did. I don't either, but nothing surprises me now,
Right.
you know?
Okay, so that was the big bomb for the week. Let's get
Hmm.
into these episodes, girl.
Okay, great. Yes. Potomac. Okay. So I watched it. The way, oh my gosh, they were so shady. I just want to say when they kept talking about Stacy's breath, I was like,
Potomac was like so refreshing to watch because I
it
feel
was.
like everything else has been so like repetitive, like heavy drama between like OC and Miami, and even like with Salt Lake. Like Salt Lake is funny, but Potomac is hilarious. Potomac is
Hilarious.
like it could not be funnier if it was
Oh my
scripted.
gosh. And I was just like, now I need to like smell Stacey's breath because all they were
I
talking
know.
about is how bad it was. And I said, not that I want to smell bad breath, but like
No, I was thinking that too. I was like, dang, well, how bad is it? Like,
it was, yeah, but it was lighthearted. How do you feel about the whole Stacey not being honest and Ashley would kept pressing. She's like, I looked you up. You're not, it's not showing that you're divorced. And she's like, Stacey's like, mind your business. I was just like, what is
I'm kind of
happening?
torn about the divorce thing because obviously when you're going through it, like when Ashley was going through it and everybody was asking, it was like she wasn't, I don't feel like she was mean about it, and she wasn't like stop talking about it, but I think she just didn't have answers to give, and she did have a lot of legal aspects behind why she wasn't talking. But I just feel like it's a little hypocritical for her to be like pushing Stacy about it. Now, with that said, though, the fact that Ashley couldn't find her name in the system, if that is true, because I sure didn't go look it up, but if that is true, it deserves to be called out on the show.
Right, right. I agree. Um, I don't know what to believe with Stacey. Like, I love when she goes to Ashley. You want to know the truth, Ashley? I have forgiven him and I've moved on. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I
Yo,
don't know.
Ashley's imitation of her is so spot
So
on.
good. So spot on. But Stacy, she was good because she's like, instead of wasting all this time on looking up if I'm getting a divorce, she should go spend her time looking up like a vocal coach. And I was like, oh, and I was
Yeah,
like, she's not lying. She is
yeah,
not lying, in my
that's true.
opinion.
That is true.
Um, yeah. And then how did you feel? I know they did the whole intro of like Karen coming out, but you don't get to see Karen just yet, you know? But what about Kay and Wendy who are having some sort of
They're not
issue?
having a thing. I don't know what's wrong with Kay. I think it can't. I think that Wendy is has not changed. I think she has been very consistent. Wendy's not my favorite. Um, when she first came on, I couldn't stand her, just to be
Hmm.
honest. She definitely grew on me and she changed, but she has been very consistent. So if you're going to be friends with her, I feel like you would just know this is just who she is. When Kay described the situations, like when she was saying, "Oh, Wendy didn't wave to me or speak to me or anything coming in," I feel like Wendy's more. Now me, I'm not a professional speaker, you know what I'm saying? So if
Hmm.
I and I've done panels and things
Hmm.
before, I definitely would do a little, like while I'm on the stage. Wendy comes from more of a professional sense, so I feel like Wendy and Stacy, they and Karen, like they wouldn't do that. That
Hmm.
wouldn't be them. I wouldn't be offended, but not enough to have an on-screen long conversation about it.
I just felt like if she's on stage on a panel, like you expect her to just be like in a professional setting. I wouldn't have said, like, I'd be happy to see you, but like I wouldn't be like waving at you until like I'm done and I'm off stage. So I get that. But what did
Yeah.
you feel? So I've seen interviews where Wendy says that it's really sad to see she feels like Kay is just reaching. She's like, we never had a problem. She feels like she's doing this just for TV and like screen time and like a storyline. And she's like, I'm good with her. She's like, I never had an issue. But when Kay told her, did you do your own makeup? Um, I could see why Kay thought it was maybe a little like, what's wrong if she did her own makeup, if that makes sense,
I
you
don't
know?
think okay, so I'm gonna look at it from both sides. If somebody asked me, "Did you do your own makeup?" I would freak out because I'm not a makeup artist. So I would be like, immediately, I would be like, my makeup looks like crap. So and I would start like freaking out. But if you normally have glam and then you do your own makeup, it probably is noticeable.
Hmm.
So if one of my friends were to say that to me, I'd be like, "What's wrong with my face? Do we need to go to the bathroom? Let's fix it right now." I wouldn't immediately jump into "you're angry at me" or "you're trying to be shady towards me." I would just be like, "You're probably, trying to tell me
Hmm.
it could look better." I don't know.
What's
I don't
funny
know.
to
Maybe
me
I'm
is
just not as like sensitive. I would just be like, "All right, whatever."
no, I mean, I didn't think anything of it, but when they show the picture of what she looked like, I was like, what's wrong with her makeup? It looks beautiful. Like, I didn't even see.
In a photo, you got to see people up close. You see people
Oh,
up
true.
close.
True. What
Yeah.
the from the photo, she looked really pretty. So I was just like, were you just more insulted that she asked you that
Yes.
like that you didn't get it done professionally? Like I
Yes.
just didn't understand what she was upset about, and I was like, huh, I don't know. I don't
Yes.
really know, but
Now, to her defense, I do feel like when they played the flashbacks from like last season and Wendy didn't want to share a room with her and things like that, I do think that Wendy was shady to her last season.
I think if I'm
That's
being honest with you, I like Wendy. She's not my favorite at all. I think she's really into herself. I think she's really self-absorbed, really self-obsessed. And I do feel like at times she thinks that like she's better than the girls, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, so that's just sometimes the vibes that I get from her. I don't know. Like that's just
I agree. And you know who else acts like that? Is this new girl, Angel. She was on screen for all of 3 minutes. And I've already made that assessment. Now I might like her later on, but first impression is no. Um, because she gives very it was, what it did it for me is when she was saying the sideways comment about Ashley being a bottle girl. Like, yeah, she was my bottle girl. From bottle girl to bloom or like whatever she said. I just felt like that was really shady because everybody has a come up,
Hmm.
and
That's true.
that's great that you married a man who is in the NFL and you're a journalist and you had a very successful business. Some people marry into money, some people make their own money, some people inherit money. Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't see the problem. I'm not gonna put somebody down because in their 20s they were a bottle girl. Like, that's
Yeah. I think
crazy.
she's gonna have a lot to say this season.
Yeah.
And I'm excited kind of just to see how that, like, what she's going to say, because she seems like someone who is going to call it like it is, and I
Mhm.
think she's going to stir some stuff up.
Mhm.
how did you feel when, and this is probably nothing, but when Wendy's saying hi to her and she's like, "Oh, hi." And like Wendy's like, "Yeah, she's a familiar face, but like I don't know her." And did it feel a little shady to you, or that's
Well,
just
when
like,
he did that before with, I would say I can't even remember who it was, but she did that. Oh, with NECA.
yes. Oh, but
That
yeah,
was
they
next.
had
NECA was
history.
like, yeah, we know, Wendy and her husband from school or whatever. And Wendy's
Mhm.
like, no, you don't know me. But I have noticed some people are like that. So again, not to defend Wendy, but kind of to defend Wendy. Some people are like that. Like just because they met you like years and years and years ago, they're not going to say like, I know them.
Oh, right,
But
right, right. I
they're like,
agree.
that's yeah, and I
Yeah.
kind of feel like it's just one of those things. Like if she doesn't talk to you regularly and
Hmm.
she's only met you in passing, she's going to be like, "I've heard of you, but
Yeah.
I don't know you." And
Yeah.
some people are just like that. And
Yeah.
I think that's very fair, especially considering you're connected from a college roommate and these people went to college like what, 20 years ago? Yeah, you you don't know her,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. It's interesting because I feel like, yeah, it's just maybe it's sometimes how Wendy can carry herself. It just comes across that she's better than like whoever's in the room. And
Yeah, for
maybe
sure.
she doesn't think that, but it's just maybe how it's coming across. And then what else happened in the episode? I mean, it was a lot about Ashley
There's
and
a lot.
Stacey. Um,
So what do you think about TJ and Stacy, like in the case and every like what do you think?
it's like I want to believe her, but a part of me just can't. Like a part of me just can't. I believe, like I don't know what to believe with Stacey. That's the thing. I like seeing her on TV, if I'm being completely honest. She cracks me up because she's like just such a, I
She's
don't
so
know,
dramatic.
so dramatic. She's such a hoot, like such a hoot. She surprises me with her confessionals sometimes, even her like directly when she's talking to the women and like when she goes at them. Like she's funny to watch, but I don't believe her. I want
I
to,
don't believe her either. I
but
think
I can't.
you know how they all say that like Ashley's the delusional one and like she just causes drama and all these. I feel like it's really Stacy.
Well, she's definitely delusional. And like,
Yeah,
you know what? Props to her because she's really like believing her own lies. And that's where I'm starting to think, like, okay, am I just thinking she's a liar, but she's really not? But it's like if
no.
all the women are like, no, like she's lying, you know?
I want to know who the actress was that told Ashley
Me
and Giselle.
too. Me too. I want to know too. Um, yeah, so I don't believe her, but I do like her on the show. And dang, I just hope they don't keep bragging about her breath because, like, it just, that's
I thought they
hilarious.
were being dramatic until Angel said something about it, and I was like, oh, okay. It must
Like,
be just
but
that.
wait, can't you tell if your breath is, and her best friend went with her to the Ashley's event, and like, you, you couldn't tell your friend, like, pop a mint, give her a gum.
She might have that what's that disease where you have bad breath? How
I thought you
what's
were
it
gonna say she might have
called?
like a cavity or like a root canal. It's like teeth
Yeah,
rotting.
something. She might have, I don't know. Maybe her
I don't
friends
know.
do.
I just feel like I would feel like I would notice and I'd be like, oh, you know what? Like I gotta go. Like I don't know, carry a toothbrush, a traveling toothbrush.
They
Um,
miss them.
yeah, but okay, good episode. It was funny, lighthearted, excited to see for the season.
Yeah. It was good.
Miami. Miami. Do
How do you
you
feel
believe
about go
uh
ahead.
no, I was gonna say I was gonna start with the end, basically.
Yeah.
I want to
I
make
was
sure we
just
talk about it.
yeah. Yeah.
How do you believe that Julia and Adriana were intimate multiple
Yeah.
times?
Yeah. Do
Okay.
you?
I do, but I can't stand Julia, so I'm like, damn, why Adriana? Like, and like I just like so is that when everything changed between the two of them after they hooked up?
Well, when things get physical, it does change the dynamic between two people. So that does make sense. I do believe that there's a very strong possibility that that happened just from watching them in like Julia's first season on the show. Like they had like a very flirty dynamic.
Very
So it
flirty.
does, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that that is a possibility.
Mhm.
Um, I'm so excited to see the next episode because I'm curious about Martina's role as far as like, did she know? Is she just finding out on the reunion as well? Like, because I don't see a married person announcing that they cheated on their spouse, especially on television, unless the spouse already knew.
I think Martina already knows, but I
Yeah.
think that Martina, and I'm just speculating as an outsider looking in, I just feel like Martina and Julia, this hasn't been the first time that Julia has messed around with like another woman outside of their marriage. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like, does that make sense?
Hmm.
That's the vibes that I get. And I have to believe that Martina already knew about this before she obviously announced it. But it was just wild. You could tell Adriana looked at her like, I'm about to like just end you right now. Just wait. And I was like, and all the girls, even Andy, he was just like,
Yeah. Shocking Andy is
yeah,
that is not a small feat. So yes, I'm ready to see like the aftermath of it. Like
yeah.
I said, I wish Martina was there so we could get her
Hmm.
in. It's okay. So I know we're pressed for time, but Gertie and the whole glass throwing thing and them taking up and not taking up for her. How do you feel that the cast handled that situation with Julia throwing the water?
You know, this one was hard, if I'm being honest, to like watch a little bit because I think the girls, Alexia and like Julia, did what they were supposed to do, like on Reunion, which is like apologize so that they can move forward and like, be better for the show. But I think, and maybe because I think I take things way too personal and I am sensitive, but I feel like Grudy was trying to explain like that it was more behind just the glass thrown at her and how Julia's done this before. And I think Gertie did handle herself well, in my opinion. But I don't feel like she was able to explain how it's the stuff behind the scenes that has made her so upset, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
I'm still Team Gertie, if I'm being honest, but the girls essentially did apologize, like what they're supposed to do on the show. I just don't think these women like Gertie. And if I'm being honest, I think Gertie's way too good for like these group of women who, if they're not really going to support you, if they don't really like you, they don't really cheer you on. Like, I'm like, get out of that group. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel?
I don't 100% get that vibe. I feel like once they showed the other things of people having things thrown, there wasn't a lot of outrage and disgust. And if you watch the scene, Julia didn't turn to Gertie and throw water in her face. It looked like she accidentally knocked water out of the glass, like she was shaking or whatever her movement was, and the water came out of the glass, and then she just went with it and then turned and directed it at Gertie. So it wasn't like, do you get what I'm saying? But
I get what
also
you're saying,
because
but
yeah,
mhm.
but and then also in the moment, because Gertie did this at the reunion, she doesn't listen. She's very like into whatever she's thinking and saying, so she's
Yeah.
not hearing anybody else. Alexia apologized to her at the reunion,
Hmm.
and she had like 10 people had to tell her like she just apologized to you. But
Hmm.
if you watch the scene again, Larsa and Alexia and Marisol were all saying that's terrible. We're not going to throw. They weren't like Julia, you did it. They didn't do that, but they did say this has gone too far. We can't be throwing things. We can't be doing this. This is terrible. And Gertie was just like freaking out and screaming over everyone, so she didn't hear any of that going on. I think to me, Gertie needs like a big. It has to be a big thing. If it's not big and elaborate,
Hmm.
whether it could be an apology or it could be something bad. If it's not big and elaborate, it didn't happen in Gertie's
Hmm.
mind. So that to me, having to interact with somebody like that, that would bother me because I can't just be like, oh, you know what, girl, my bad. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
It
yeah,
has to
you're
be.
right. She
It's too much.
is. She doesn't, even though she said she was gonna be super quiet in the reunion, and it's like not really. And then Adriana was trying to help her at one point, multiple times, even Lisa. And I get it. She was trying to defend herself and she's like, this is my battle. Like, I got this. Don't worry about it. But at some point, it's like your friends are trying to help you. They're trying to like help explain what you're feeling. You just wouldn't let them chime in. And I feel like Gertie is just on defense with these girls that I'm like,
Yeah.
if you feel like you're on defense, then I respectfully say, like, why don't you bow out? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I don't know, like how if there isn't going to be any resolution, how do you move on with these group of girls? Like how? Because then like the show gets
I just think
nasty, negative, and toxic, you know?
I just think Gertie needs to learn to I mean, I don't know how she is in her marriage, but in a marriage, you have to listen to each other and it's a lot of give and take. And I just want Gertie to be able to take those same things and apply them to her relationships. I'm not saying that she needs to be friends with Julia or forgive her or anything, but she does need to be able to listen to the other end of the conversation and fully take it in and comprehend it
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
making a spectacle about something. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least just listen and hear it. And if you don't want to listen and hear it, be like, I'm done with this. I don't want to hear it and move
Mm-hmm.
on.
Yeah,
So,
no, I agree. I hate that we have to like wrap this up like now, but we'll discuss way more about this for next week. You
yes.
guys let us know how you guys are feeling if you're watching Reunion. If you're watching Miami, what your thoughts were on it. If you're tuning in for Potomac, let us know as well. Thank you guys for, as always, tuning in. Don't forget to like, save, subscribe, leave a comment, share it to a friend, all the things.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, and drop your comments below about OC too. I know we didn't talk about it, but we're still watching it.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.